What you're looking at is not the stock market. It's not Nigeria's oil revenue. And it's definitely not the crypto market. This is the annual revenue of Nigeria's most terrifying underground marketplace. A market where commodity being bought, sold, and traded is human life. When we hear about the crisis in Nigeria, the media calls it terrorism, banditry, or chaos. But they are missing the real story. This is no longer just a security crisis. It is a highly organized, cutthroat corporate franchise. To understand how we got here, we have to look at what changed. Historically, criminal gangs in Nigeria rural northwest didn't care about humans. They cared about cattle. Cattle rustling was the original hustle. But around 2019, an economic shift occurred. Climate change dried up grazing lands. Ranches became heavily guarded. Suddenly, stealing a cow required a massive amount of physical effort, heavy transport, and a risky black market to sell the meat. The profit margins fell. Then the bandits realized a devastating economic truth. A cow cannot make a phone call to its family. A cow does not have a bank account, but a human being has both of these. Almost overnight, the business model pivoted. The gangs realized that human capital theft was far more liquid, highly scalable, and had a much lower overhead cost than traditional livestock theft. But as the scale grew, random ambushes stopped being enough. To handle billions of naira, the gangs had to shed their amateur image. They needed structure. They needed a corporate hierarchy. This video is a mini documentary on how kidnapping became a real business in Nigeria. If you haven't subscribed, you have the time to click subscribe and share the video with your friends to learn this topic more. At the top of the pyramid sits the warlord. Think of him as the CEO. He doesn't pull the trigger. He doesn't stay in the bush waiting for targets. He manages capital, buys heavy weaponry from unstable borders, and negotiates treaties with rival parties. Beneath the warlord are the foot soldiers. In a cruel twist of economics, these gunmen are essentially gig workers. They are often impoverished, unemployed youth, hired on a contract basis. They do the dangerous work of execution, but they only receive a tiny fraction of the final ransom paid. But the business completely fails without this next department, the informats. This is the research wing of the bandits economy. They are ordinary community members, sometimes local shopkeepers, village chiefs, or even compromised security officers. They provide targets. They know who just sold a plot of land, who received the government's contract, and exactly the time a target arrives their home. Without them, the business model is blind. Then comes the logistics crew. A bandit camp with dozens of hostages requires massive daily supplies. The economy feeds an entire secondary market of local traders who supply motorcycle, food, fuel, and medication to the forest camps at highly inflated premium prices. Finally, there's the money handlers. Moving millions in cash without alerting the banking system requires sophisticated laundering. The cash is quickly converted into tangible assets, real estate in urban centers, vast herds of legitimate livestock, or smuggled luxury goods. When the entry-level payout for a single crime is equivalent to decades of honest minimum wage work, crime stops looking like a desperate choice. It looks like a highly rational career path, and that is exactly how it became a parallel state within Nigeria. When a business grows this large, it inevitably seeks to control the environment. In vast stretches of the northwest, the former government has effectively been pushed out. Bandits have evolved from predators into landlords. Data shows that only about 36% of kidnappings are ever officially reported to law enforcement. Why? Because communities have realized that negotiating directly with the kidnappers provides faster results than waiting for the government. In these regions, bandits levy formal taxes. Farmers must pay a protection fee or a harvest tax just to gain access to their own fields. If they don't pay, their crops are burned and they are added to the inventory. This has triggered a massive domino effect, destroying local agriculture and driving up food inflation across the entire country. But perhaps the most dystopian turn in this economy is its marketing. Bandits are not hiding in dark caves anymore. They are active on social media. Warlords have posted TikTok live streams boasting about their wealth, showing off their luxury purchases, and even running giveaways, sending data bundles and cash to impoverished followers who drop their bank accounts in the comment section. The tragic irony of the bandit economy is its sustainability. It creates a loop that is incredibly difficult to break. It drains the formal economy, creates mass unemployment, ruins education, and leaves a population so desperate that joining the value chain becomes the easiest way to survive. This has led northern Nigeria to be a place of constant war. The northern Nigeria is quite important as it leads to various parts of the country. This has left the zone totally uninvestable and an area for warlords. This has also trickled down to southern Nigerian states. In the past, we've heard stories of attackers in states like Ondo, Ibadan, amongst multiple other states, even in southeastern Nigeria. This is just a chain reaction of what started years ago in northern Nigeria. If you found this video helpful, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification icon so you don't miss out on our future videos. Share the video with your friends who want to learn more about this topic, and I'll see you in my next video.